look, pushing power. And it feels even worse once you've got someone like the Puck instead of someone like the Leshrac, for example. You just don't have that same ability to put the pressure on. Your team fighting might be amazing, but we all know that you don't win games by purely team fighting. You've got to get objectives as well. So maybe they just leaned a little bit too much into the fighting style on Beastcoast in Game 1. And could they rectify it in Game 2 as we get to the...
And if that's going to be the case, Secret ban out the Marcy. No surprise considering they don't have the first pick. And at Beastcoast, they banned out the Nyx Assassin as well. So continuing the respect with Zayat's Nyx.
Understandable is what I have to say for that. Prioritize. Do you prioritize the Enchantress or do you prioritize the chip? I would prior the Enchantress personally if I'm playing against Secret. I feel like you take away a lot of their offensive potential if you take it away. Not offensive potential, but their understanding of the current the current situation around the map, right? I feel like you can get deeper wards up if you're playing the Enchantress. I feel like you can pressure more people playing the Enchantress. I feel like you don't need to necessarily stay in the lane as much as the Enchantress. So I think I would be looking to get rid of that if I am Beastcoast. Maybe the Undying if they want to Morphling themselves, because that's one of the best heroes to be able to just run into it.
You could consider about banning one of the puppy heroes and then picking up your own as well, but it's going to be the Razor. I don't think this was banned out in the first game, right?
Nope.
So something that Secret picked up, I believe, 4 times for Crystals through the last gen's qualifiers. They did start to kind of stop picking it towards the end. We didn't see it as much from them. Something they, early on, they just wanted to get some comfort and really get Crystal synced into the groove of things. And then, yeah, so didn't pick it up as much towards the later stages.
Team Secret's turn to pick.
Still here.
You could even pass Shadow Fiend, try and take the task away from the Enigma pairing. You said Morphling's there if you want to go toss Morphling. Like there's a lot that Secret can do.
10 seconds.
And even look for the response with the Enigma. We've seen, even though Enigma has been picked into Silencer, I mean, you can still pick it up for Secret if you want to. Though I don't think we've really seen Puppy play it too much, even to try and deal with it. But alright, there we go. There's the Silencer.
I think the Silencer quite bad, but the laning matchup is evened up so much in Balance's favor that I'm kind of favorable towards it. You just need something.
Beastcoast
that's instantly able to gap pose onto the Enigma. Not necessarily the Earth Spirit, I'm talking about for the laning phase, although that does help once we get to the later stages. Something again that was going to be roaming around, getting a lot of this vision. I'm expecting Zayat's again to be placing most of the observer wards in this game.
10 seconds remaining.
But yeah, from the position 1 aspect, I want to see from Chrysalis something else that's able to harass out the Enigma. And maybe that was what they were thinking about with the ban on the Razor here. Combine that together with the Silencer. Sure, you're 2 ranged heroes, but at least with the Plasma Field it provides a slow. The Arcane Curse provides a slow, and maybe you're able to take out those idle.
Beastcoast's turn to ban.
Shadow Fiend.
Right, they'll be the ones to go into the Shadow Fiend here for Beastcoast, so see how they're going to look to protect in the second phase. Has there been any bans that you really feel like is a must whenever you're picking the Shadow Fiend?
I feel like Lena's still a pretty good ban. You can outrange the SF most of the time. At this point, they don't really have any ways to get on top of the Lena, so maybe if they wanted to do that, then they could
Beastcoast's turn to ban. Team
even more, not defensively, but just around this death ball style, where you're not actually running over people. So yeah, they banned the Lena out. I think this is a draft that is much better set up to not only do fine in the laning stage, especially the Enigma's lane, but to be able to actually get objectives on the back of
10 seconds remaining.
Seeing what Shadow Fiends are able to do, especially if the game is going incredibly well early on. You just go into the presence of the Dark Lord, affects buildings, you've got an Enigma, you've got Wraith Pact. It's just so much damage that you're not going to be able to deal with. And they're just banning out a lot of the Enigma pairing. Marcy, Task Tiny, all gone. Nyx gone as well. Not many heroes that want to stand in front of him except maybe the Clockwork, which wouldn't be the worst choice. We're able to get in on top of the silencer, force out the early issues. The global silence wouldn't be too bad.
Team secrets turn to ban.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of another 4 that they might be considering here for Beastcoast, but I like the Clockwork call as well. I want another way to be able to jump in. Really, the main thing is just vision on top of the silence, and if you can take him out of the team fight, then all of a sudden the Enigma will be open to have at least the threat of the black hole without having to worry about the global silence to answer.
They could even consider a Monkey King. That on Goodyear.
Yeah, he did. That's something I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen as much so far. He has been playing in some pubs recently, and South America always like their position for Monkey King. See, I'm in secret also with the 15th pick, so I'm gonna have to try and reveal something at the moment. The core needs to be picked up.
Would assume that it's going to mostly been Smile that's been playing the Shadow Fiend, hasn't it? Hector hasn't really been leaning more towards it. He's much more of, you know, your strength style carry, your Spens, your Wraith Kings. He doesn't really like the lifesteal as much, but certainly Chaos Knight, that sort of stuff. Going for.
Yeah, it looks like he's played it only a couple times in pubs, K1. 2 games of Shadow Fiend, and Chris Lock has played it 9 times, so I think more than likely that it will be C-Smile playing it.
I wonder how much they're putting emphasis on Beastcoast into getting some sort of hero that wants to buy Manta style, because you're going up against a lot of silences right now, and I feel like you just need to find a way to be able to address that.
Turn to pick.
Clockwork, nicely done. Secret,
Alright.
Sniper instead. Okay.
So, I was going to wait till the 18th to mention it, depending if it was a good game or not. I did not think they were going to pick it up at the 15th, but this was one of their other ways to address the Shadow Fiend, and they like it versus the Enigma as well, just because the distance you can play. So I don't hate it at all.
Both Nisha and Crystal's played.
Yeah.
So this was that big comeback against VP was off the back of a Crystallis sniper, I thought. Him and Zayat's combining together from the Nyx Assassin and the sniper ended up winning that game.
I guess a lot of the position 4 bans really enable that. Like we were kind of speaking about the parents with the Enigma, but they also are kind of gap closing position 4s. So it's really going to free up the game here for the sniper.
Then you need to go something unorthodox now. Do you go Pos for Pango? Something along those lines, you know? If you're able to get into the Rolling Thunder, sure, the sniper might just turn around and hit you, especially once he's got the BKB, but you're able to create a little bit more havoc for Burst Spirit, the Silencer. Certainly not traditional, but banned out. It kind of have to... Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Indeed. One of the remaining kind of melee 4s is the Earthshaker, and I don't think you want to pick that up into a sniper, and just in general, then obviously instantly like, yeah, no, not the Earthshaker, so...
Or could you Spirit Breaker this game? Ooh, I wouldn't hate a Spirit Breaker.
Hey!
Let's go, man, come on! Sometimes it just clicks all at the same time. You gotta love to see it. I mean, it's a fantastic game, right? Stand in front of the Enigma, stuns, even just once you get into the Nether Strike, right? Pushes you a little bit further back towards the Enigma to enable Black Hole, Eidolon hits, no matter what you want to call it. So I think it's real. You're gonna be able to catch out the Silencer and Sniper if they even show brief.
We have a little reserve time for them remaining picks on Beastcoast, so default response is going to be the Stark.
Like it a lot. I mean, again, you don't really care that much about the Silencer. Most of the time, you're going to be able to Dark Pact it off, natural BKB buyer. Really don't care, again, about the Earth Spirit in the laning phase. A strength hero that's able to soak up a lot of right clicks just means a lot for your Essence Shift. And then, again, gap close for the Sniper is really good. And we saw the biggest counter to the Slug be the Morphling, but that's already gone. So I think Secret are just wanting to go for some sort of AoE damage now that's going to be able to take care of both the Spirit Breaker and the Slark, and even the Eidolons in a lot of these team fights.
So I think a route they could consider about going back into is the Leshrac, where we saw the Earth Spirit Lesh combo. Deals very well with the Slark, but I think a big reason why the Lesh had success was because of the Chen that can really enable it, and I don't think the Silencer does as much, but it is probably one of the biggest counters. You could just Bloodseeker actually from Seeker to the 18th. That is another really big counter into the Slark, and if you want to use the Rupture on some different heroes as well, there's going to be a lot of value there, and you don't particularly need as many items.
Turn to battle.
Little farm-centric in the early game for mine, though. This is the hero that I wanted. I wanted Leshrac. You know, again, AoE damage, you deal with the Slark, you push towers, you can push the tempo a lot faster, and we just saw that
Team Secrets.
literally the
turn to
pairing. We
battle.
had a Leshrac and an Earth Spirit playing together. They're clearly used to playing it.
Beastcoast will still get rid of the Bloodseeker as well, just covering their tracks and potentially protecting whatever their 24th is going to be, which we're expecting this to be their position 5 for Stinger, so a lane pairing with the Slark.
5 seconds remaining.
I guess so. They look to go for here.
I think they are very, very single target. Like, incredibly single target, which is a bit of a concern for me.
Aren't many vibes that address that unless it's like a Lich, right? But I'm
Yeah.
not sure if Lich
Turn
is
to
the best.
battle.
I was going to bring up something like a Snap 5-5.
It's okay, yeah. Could Crystal Mate in this game? Nah.
Yeah, let's...
Bit of
I
a
mean, it would
creep.
be nice.
Team
You are a bit of a
Secrets,
creep, but
turn
yeah,
to
it would be
battle.
really nice, honestly, for your aura, but yeah, you might be too much of a creep. And I
Do
don't
they just
particularly...
want? Do they just want like, say Omni Knight is like a little bit, but again with a Slark doesn't feel that great. Oracle, I don't think you can afford to do it.
10 seconds remaining.
5 hero paired together
5
with a
seconds remaining.
Doctor.
Beastcoast's turn to pick.
You could go down a different route to be able to try and buff up your Slark and Shadow Fiend as well.
Yeah. Is an option.
I mean, I'm trying to think of some of the heroes that can kind of help out. You're not going to go like an Abaddon, especially against Silencer, Ogre. I'd like the Bloodlust a lot, but double melee could be a bit vulnerable.
Lycan.
Tell me when
Okay.
it's picked. I'm looking at the hero list. What
You can come back. Yeah, you can. See what we got.
Okay. So is it a 5 Enigma?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
But then a SB Lycan?
I don't. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
10 seconds.
Probably
remaining.
Enigma Slark then. Yeah.
5 seconds
We'll
remaining.
see. Buffy's adamant on whatever they're about to pick, and they'll go back into the slaughter. So
Worked once, it'll work again, he says.
let's see. What do we got? It's going to be K1 Slark. Niche just playing the sniper as well. So again, it's going to be another carry slaughter. We have a position 5 Enigma. Okay, so I really I like
Go
the
on, say
slaughter. No, I like the slaughter. I think your lane matchup versus the Lycan should be really nice in a 1v1. You don't particularly have ways to deal with the summons, but I don't think that's going to be a concern where you can just put yourself in front of the Lycan and him have difficulties dealing with you. And again, is a way to further enable your sniper. Like we saw in Game 1 where you get the Corrosive Haze onto the members on Beast Coast, and all of a sudden Niche is just doing ridiculous amounts of damage. Like my only thing about it is that it's against Slark, and it can kind of go back and forth a little bit. Like you really want to wait to purge off Corrosive Haze, but for that short duration that it's applied, it is nice to have that bonus vision on the Slark. So I don't hate it, and obviously they're going for a specific idea where it's another kind of hero that doesn't need a whole lot, and you're just putting a lot of emphasis on Nisha to be that true win condition.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think exactly how Puppy's going to be laning this as well. You know, you're up against a Lycan and a Spirit Breaker most likely. Not the heroes that want to be using spells constantly in lane, right? You're occasionally going to be using the Wolves, you're occasionally going to be charging, but you're not going to get amazing value out of the Arcane Curse this game. So I wonder if he's going to put more emphasis onto the glaives for the lane, just to try and harass out these two melee heroes as much as possible, provided that his positioning is decent enough. I'm also just considering like what it feels good to be the Lycan and Spirit Breaker is going to do eventually once the lane starts to dissolve. Obviously, it's important for them to look to play around taking this early tower up top for Beast Coast, but once you can use the wolves as just scouting tools for enabling the charge, I think that could really be what enables Beastcoast to find some pickoffs to lead into these key objectives here.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Beastcoast do have this big advantage in regards to vision. Slark to be able to deal with wolves that's constantly scouting the out lanes that's shoved out because of the Eidolon, so that's really gonna make it that much easier to potentially bring down Poppy on the silencer or catch out Nisha out of position on the sniper.
30 seconds to battle.
And I mean, does that mean that he needs to go like the earliest imaginable Shadow Blade, just so that you're, not completely revealed by vision? You need to really purchase a lot more sentries, which means that your timings are slower. It's kind of a repeat of game number 1, right? But the difference this time around for Beastcoast is that if you're opting to go into Sniper, Leshrac, Slardar, and you're wanting to farm heavily, you will get pushed by a Shadow Fiend, Enigma, and a Lycandra. And, you know that a Spirit Breaker wants to be going forward as well. You know that a Slark wants to be fighting too. So I think this draft makes a lot more sense for Beastcoast in terms of their style of play, as well as specifically against what Secret have picked up.
You think they're going to be able to push the tempo for Beastcoast? I feel like it's a bit more of like a greedier lineup, like 3 true cores.
Well, Lyca doesn't need much, right? And
like Helmet Overlord, right?
Yeah, but Enigma, all he needs is Eidolons. So you just want level 7 essentially on Stinger and you're fine. SB's going to be charging around the map. Basically, the only one spending a little bit more time farming is Seasmart. Go into the Boots of Travel to enable that instant pickoffs onto wherever you want. Maybe just bots onto the... Still bots onto the wolves? I imagine you can.
Yeah. You can still bots into the wolves. Unless something has changed, then you should still be able to. So we'll see how the lane's going to be set up for the moment. Again, Leshrac, goodbye into the Earth Spirit. Do we feel like there's going to be a different outcome with this lane pairing that they're going up against the Slark and the Spirit Breaker this time?
Still melee heroes, right? So I feel like Resolution is going to be in a fine enough spot. They go for the kill attempts once they reach up onto level 2. Who knows? But I really don't feel like Kajira is going to provide all that much in this lane, to be honest. Nothing land to the player as much as the hero combination.
The other list side lane is shaping up for the moment, and Chrysalis is going to be very happy into this, and you see Whispers even forced to go to a very early use of the Ring of Protection just to kind of help out with some of the right-click damage that will come out very shortly from the Slardar once he's able to get more points in the bash.
Jigs up.
Appreciate it, for sure. I mean, Stinger might even be able to get away with being a little bit more farm-oriented too. You're not going to be able to do too much trading happening here just with your right-click. Yeah, though, the Wolves, they give a decent amount of XP if they go down, and like I was expecting, not against 2 melee heroes, but it's Glaives of Wisdom is doing an incredible amount of work for Poppy so far. Might even get this first blow.
Mid lane, Nisha's trying to man mode against Seasmart with another use of the Shrapnel to dive in the tower. Nisha will get some revenge for how the last game shaped up in the laning phase.
Charge coming through though. Going all the way. He's hoping that maybe he slows down even a little bit so that he doesn't connect onto Nisha for the water rune, but no, he's gonna have to stop.
Nisha
He wanted to for himself.
Nisha's pretty much back up to 4 now. And with a kill and level advantage over Seasmart.
He had his bottle available as well as they make the charge down onto bottom. But K1 not really in a position to be able to make a gank attempt. Actually ends up pouncing into it.
Oh, wow. Sorry, I thought
the next level play.
Oh, my.
It's like Space Invaders, you know? You don't shoot where they are, you shoot where they're going to be.
Okay. Zayas, he's played a lot of Space Invaders. That's why he's so good on the Earth Spirit. Predicts their movements.
Popular game in Kyrgyzstan, for sure.
He's the #1 Space Invader player. Have you seen the history books?
Yeah, he's ahead of me on the leaderboards. I'm very salty about it.
Oh, in Kyrgyzstan? I didn't know you played on the leaderboards. Oh, global leaderboards. Okay. You're gonna have to pick up your Space Invader game. I'm quite disappointed as a boomer like you. I thought you'd.
Bro, I'm not a TI player, okay? I'm decent at games, not that good though.
Yeah, but hang on. Space Invaders compared to Dota is some different things here.
One is much more skilled.
Which one?
As we get back to the game, we got Nisha again having a really solid time.
Dude, Whisper might die top. Crystallis is gonna continue to dive. We're stinging nearby. Just a chuck out of the Malefice will not be a deterrent at all. So Crystallis gets an easy kill and also TP's out.
Gold for me.
A little rough again. All three lanes now this time around going in Secret's favor, despite the fact that they've got this avenue to be able to, you know, again, just sit back and farm. You've got this good start to the game, then you're not as worried about the death ball that's eventually going to be coming because you've got the experience advantage. You might have your ultimates a little bit earlier.
Good lane, C-Smile. Oh, the charging's going to be on the mark. He's going to try and turn it back around with the razors, but will not be able to get close enough. And now Gojira, he's stuck inside the shrapnel. They will not have another charge to play with. They're going to be relying on some headshot procs to try and get the kill. Not be lucky enough.
He had his boots delivered mid-fight there. Maybe if he had them just a little bit before, he would have been able to save C-Smile as they go for actually a kill here onto Gojira. Looks like they'll be able to claim it as well. Nisha picking up his second kill of the game and his third involvement.
This is not a good start on a pretty goddamn good sniper game. With also multiple ways to be able to buff him up and heroes to play in front of the sniper. This is some scary territories to start this game one. Game two, I should say, in top lane. Zinger again. Another boy getting chased under the tower. They will have Gojira to be able to move up top shortly to try and provide some assistance.
If he gets this sense that the charge is coming, they don't have any vision inside of the lane and going to go through the trees, but be underneath the tower and back off in time. I was about to say back off in time, but at least they forced the crush out of him.
Oh no, they had a bash already ready and primed. Oh, it looks like Secret of the one that will happen with Beastcoast forcing his bottom lane. K1 almost goes down as well. Resolution more than happy of playing this 1v1 versus the Slark.
Absolutely. Just zero kill threat. Well, zero kill threat from the Slark onto the Leshrac, I mean, but Rezo, he feels like he can kill at any stage.
This is a tricky position to be in. Slark's going to Midas queued up. C-Smile lands the triple raise, but Zayas is just able to roll away. He's going to try and catch up. They do have the vision for the charge. Should be able to find the kill. Rezo, help me out, friend. Silence is there. Zayas gets away, but it will not be enough. At least they will get the return kill onto C-Smile. So job well done for Zayas. Come on, give this man a tip. I know Rezo's already used all of them.
Gotta ration those tips. They're really valuable. But if it was anyone else other than K1 buying the Midas, I would feel a lot more worried. But sometimes to be able to make it work, you know, that's why he was towards the peak of carry players for not like a couple of months. You know, around that time where Beastcoast, in their previous form, were just bursting onto the scene. He changed how carries played the game. His farming patterns with item builds that were very unorthodox. The only
C-Smile getting dived once again onto the tower. This is what a Shadow Fiend hates to be up against early on. Heroes that can close the distance with ease. And now Gojira will pay the price as well with Assassinate securing 5 kills for Nisha early on and make a kill streak for the sniper. And meanwhile, Crystallis, another dive.
1v2.
Oh my lord.
Underneath the tower, with Eidolons, with Wolves, he does not give a damn.
Why didn't you say the other word?
GG stream, brother. Alright, they get the charge through on Gojira all the way from base.
Radiant's middle tower.
Have the summon Wolves for another 10 or so seconds though, so Crystallis realizing that he's played against plenty of Spirit Breakers in his time and he's all the way back to base.
When do you reckon he stops the charge?
Now. He places the ward up as well, just to provide a little bit of that extra vision. Also, slightly further out of range from the cliff ward too.
Look at that look at the Eidolon kills. Oh.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Money, loads of money.
Loads of moolah. Much better start for Secret in this game in particular than what we saw in game one. Of course, it was still a game where they were able to somehow stabilize and come back. And well, Beastcoast, they're the ones that are going to need to try and find an angle back into this game, and it's not going to be easy. The heroes that they have, they do not play well behind. They do not play from behind well at all, I should say.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They got level 6 on K1, so he's going to use that to be able to rotate back towards the jungle. Bottom lane completely open. There's no one on the team that can defend this, and well, they're actually even going to give up a kill on top of everything else, get a D-ward through. This feels like a disaster for Beastcoast right now. They must feel like no matter where we go, we're just going to get picked off. Really don't want to use this shapeshift to try and run away, but it almost feels like it's going to get to that stage. K1, rotation up top. Want to try and find a quick pick off here, but it's right underneath the tower, so plenty of potential for TP rotations to come. Full mana on Rezo if he needs to come.
Crystal's might be in a position where he could just stand under the tower and actually be able to man fight against this. Probably will need some extra forces, but you see what they're getting out across the map. Bottom tower's getting shoved in, mid tower's getting shoved in as well, so Secret definitely winning out on the trade with multiple heroes from Beastcoast playing up top. And we're going to see the shapeshift usage. Poppy's going to instantly TP out before the Centaur stun, and meanwhile with the river, Gojira, he's also going to go down as well. So try to face check Nisha and Zaya to prevent them from continuing to put pressure onto the tower, and well, that's going to cost him his life. There's also Stinger down bottom. Poppy and Resolution in combination together is going to be able to get another kill and more intel for the Poppy Meister.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
At least they traded something, you know? K1, he's got this area up top to play with now. He's got the Dark Pact. He can sit himself inside the jungle, but you just got to keep in mind on where is Chrysalis and where is Zayas. If you know that at all times, then you can feel them all
no. Oh no, they thought they left. They thought Secret left the area, not the case. Baiting the lane. Well, they noticed you, brother. They knew exactly where you were.
You gotta know where Zayas is, man. He is just so capable of finding heroes at their weakest point, being able to exploit them to full effect. The last hits underneath the towers have been super effective so far from Secret. Areas where they can look to play the map out is shrinking. Stinger on the bottom side. Like he's going to be able to do much to be able to stall this one out much longer.
Look at this. Onto Whisper they go. Resolution nearby to provide all the damage they need to kill off the Lycan. And now the rest of Beacos, they tried to find an angle in, but they weren't able to do so. Easy cleanup of the summons. They'll also keep Poppy alive as well to make sure he doesn't go down. The Lycan Bulls and Helm Dumb, so a lot of gold given, over 6,000 net worth lead. The 12-minute mark. This is this is getting very, very out of hand.
You have to wonder how much Stinger's played the Enigma as well. Like, he's a fantastic player, but a lot of his Eidolon micro just hasn't been on point. He's just giving up so much gold, both in the lane as well as even in just that fight. You know, he allowed Rezo to AoE them down with zero movement coming out from them. They weren't even right-clicking anyone. So it's just providing a lot more of this snowball effect. Gold graph would probably be at about, I would say, even 6,000 instead of the 7 if it was different on that micro front.
That really
level 6 though.
Might be able to catch up Whisper. I don't think a tier 2 tower is going to stop Secret, and the onslaught that will pursue on the damage at the moment. And now Beastcoast, they might be able to get on top of Poppy. First kill for them in quite some time. Now with the black hole as well. Oh no, the damage on Nisha coming through thanks to the Nether Strike. They'll finally get the kill, but the turnaround is there. Secret bring all 5 members to take the skirmish inside Beastcoast's jungle, and well, finally they started the fight under the tier 2 tower, and it looks like they're going to end it behind there as well, as K1 wants to clean up, but he might just be walking to his own grave. The AoE damage from Resolution not coming out because he's lacking the mana at the moment, but as soon as the Shadow Dance expires, they'll be able to chase down the Slark, and no high ground will protect him.
Even the Yule Scepter, they're going to try and catch out Rezo on the retreat here. Stinger getting the stun off. He wants to try and give it over to Gajira, I would imagine. The deny, yes, Rezo. Oh, what a player, what a player. And he's out of tips. Saddest moment in existence.
That's where you have to ask for a teammate to tip. Come on, brother has to help you out.
Yeah. Looking good for Secret. Get the momentum going.
Dire's middle tower.
Pretty solid
is
black
under
hole as
attack.
well, connecting it onto 2. Made sure to prioritize it after Puppey was already dead. We're able to take out Nisha, but still the fight going in Secret's favor after all of that. K1 got that Midas off before the fight truly began. He's just here rotating in from the backside, but able to really make that big impact. This is the effect of that AoE damage that the Leshrak's able to provide. Knights as well, always on point, being able to land those stuns, those rolls through, and big smiles coming out from Rezo.
Don't blame you with how this game's looking at the moment. Put up our first 2-0 in Group B. I know the black hole is used, I know the shapeshift was used as well, so it looks like Roche, easy for them to be able to claim, and this should really start to open up the map for them to play a little bit more objective-based to get rid of some of the towers.
For now, Secret are going to be disciplined. They're going to make sure to address their own side of the map. Of course, it feels like he is almost invincible now, playing underneath tower, plenty of mana to play with. Yule Scepter,
I'll take that.
closer and closer towards that Bloodstone, only about
Are scared.
1,200 gold away, which is pretty healthy timing considering the farm he's already got.
Well, it looks like for Beastcoast, it's going to be up to this Aghanim Scepter on Whisper. He's going Helmet Overlord still, but
tower is under attack.
what that thought is. We're actually going to look to take a fight into the Aegis advantage. So that's going to be able to get the roll away. They want to deal with the squishy supporting Puppey instead. What a jump in! Chrysalis onto 3 with a stun. And now they just need to split away. Disaster is soon to occur if they stick around for a fight. Down to the south, they've been able to blow up Smile. They'll turn to Singer as well. And Chrysalis, he wants to end the fight onto Whisper. The Bastions are primed and ready to go, but they'll use the yours instead to be able to cancel the TP. A 4-for-1 trade that favors Secret in the end.
And they've still got the lane in a really healthy spot for mid as well. Rezo, now with the Diabolic Eating maxed out, they're just going to use Nisha to pop away at the mid tower. Still didn't expend the Aegis. Has so many useful tools at his disposal. Even look to go for the Aghanim Shard as his next item, just to provide that little bit of extra utility, that gap close away from some of these heroes that are consistently running at him. And they're hunting K1. They don't want to give him any time on this map to be able to get back into this game. Crystallis ready for the jump.
Jump, and Rezo ready to follow up as well. K1, the ultimate can only hold them back so much. He's out of mana on Puppey, down to the south as well, ready to be able to follow up if required. It's going to have to be up to some shenanigans to make it out of this one, and that's not the case. So Beastcoast, they are looking to smoke. A lot of heroes showing up top. It's only Giants alone with Nisha at the moment, but if you don't get on top of the sniper, we see how much damage that Nisha can do. Brings down the Enigma with it. He's even going to kick back the Spirit Breaker closer towards the sniper. So an attempt going begging for Beastcoast. I mean, as soon as you see Secret across the map, you felt like you could make the play with the numbers advantage, but not to be. Secret are way too far ahead.
Yeah, way too far ahead and way too fast with how they're playing. I think that's the biggest improvement that I've seen from Secret ever since they've had this newer roster with Resolution and Zayat playing. It just feels like the connection is there between the position 2 and the position 4, realizing what he wants at different stages of the game and being able to adapt to it as well. Get another dive through. 8 deaths for Smile.
Wow. And now they're even looking for more kills as well. Whisper has to TP out, but unfortunately, Reggie would not be as fortunate. They'll cut off the path, and they might even go for K1 as well. Crystals, unable to get the vision though onto the Slark. Scurry on. Instead, they're going to go for the Lycan under the tier 3 tower. Nisha's off to the right side, an easy kill for them to find. It might cost Science his life up. Alright, well, he'll also make it out as well. A roll to the right side, K1 almost going down to Nisha's right-click damage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Dealing with all these summons right now. They've got the tools to be able to do it. It's all on the back of Rezo, considering the issues for the single target. I think it's fantastic about how they've been prioritizing Rezo and his survivability in a lot of these fights. That's when Crystallis is jumping in, when enabling Rezo just to continuously deal damage in a lot of these.
Under attack.
Of course, the the BKB, not the highest value this time around for Rezo, so he's going to be emphasizing that Blink Dagger again, just ensuring that he's able to follow up on any kind of initiation coming through from Crystal and Zayas. Oh yes!
Nisha just cleans up K1. This might be the 9th death of the game here for C-Smile. Had a real good start to game 1, but this is a different showing with the instant cancel of the black hole. This should probably be GG, and that's going to be dropped. And finally, we've got a 2-0 in Group B. It's going to be Secret. Very convincing here in this second game, being able to topple the South American boys in Beastcoast.
15 to 19 and 59-second betters for shortest game in the tournament. We're on the board. We're going to be able to get through, and it was super convincing coming through from Secret, right? They ran the exact same